Well, hello and welcome to Wild Vittles. So this evening is Saturday. It's after the second day of Total Archery Challenge. It's the first evening that I've been here. And for those of you watching on video, you're probably saying, what are you doing? Because I'm recording in a hotel room with my two friends that I've taken to Total Archery Challenge with me, or they've brought me. And we're dead dog tired. And so I have two gentlemen with me that have also been shooting. So if they could quickly introduce themselves.
Joel.
Judson.
Joel and Judson. If you could only have heard them before I hit record, they were full of information. But I thought maybe we'd do a quick recap of Total Archery Challenge today. And maybe before we go into that, some people may not understand what Total Archery Challenge is. Anybody want to take a stab at what this is?
Total Archery Challenge is an archery festival with multiple courses of 3D targets, so large animal-looking foam targets with realistic hunting sort of shooting situations.
Right.
I think of it as archery meets golf.
You know, I do too. Because for some people, they don't understand, and I'll explain to them, like golf, you've got at the start of each hole, and I'm not a golfer, so I don't know, but you've got what's the tee box, and you have the pin you start from, right? And that's kind of like each of our positions. There'll be 25 targets. You start at something that would be similar to a tee box, but you only have golf. You have like a par 5. You shoot 5 shots. We shoot 1 shot at each station.
Yeah, much like golf, you spend a lot of time out in the woods looking for your arrow, and you find other people's arrows.
And something else to be said about Total Archery Challenge that's a little bit different is that it's completely for fun. It's not a competition. I think, Joel, you said it's kind of it's archery kind of like a fair atmosphere because there's a trade show. You got booze, but when we're shooting, the distances are much further than what we normally shoot. I mean, most 3D shoots you go to are, I would say, 15 yards on the close side, 50-yard max. Gentlemen, how far were we shooting today?
We had a few targets that were at 100 yards.
I would say predominant, especially in the morning, many targets that were anywhere from 65 to 80 yards.
Yeah, 65, 70 out to 100.
Yeah.
Uphill, downhill, 25-mile-an-hour gusts of wind.
Well, let's get into that. What was this morning like, right?
Well, before we go there, the mini elk targets and all that stuff. So you might be 65 or 70 yards, but it's a half-size target, which is just unfair.
Yeah. So, again, for folks that may not be familiar, these are kind of, most of them are animal size. What I mean by that is if it's a deer, it's the size of a deer. If it's an elk, it's the size of an elk. And what Judson's referring to is sometimes there's targets that the elk looks like a large dog is the right size, and they'll still put it way the hell out, right? And so it was some very difficult shooting this morning. But no, so I had a terrible morning. The wind was blowing like hell. Lost, I think, 6 arrows. No, and this is a show that goes around the country too. I mean, this thing, it just came from Oklahoma, come here to San Antonio. They're going to go up to, I think, Montana at Big Sky. I think they do one in Utah somewhere. I think they do some over on the East Coast, maybe one place.
Michigan, Tennessee,
Yeah.
Georgia.
Yep.
Like for me, the bow is out for a few weeks now.
Yep.
And to be completely honest, it's going to go right back on the wall on Monday, and it's going to sit there for a while.
It's fishing season.
Because it's fishing season.
Yeah, I get you.
And it's been a slow start.
Yeah.
And so I'm really looking forward to getting out before it gets too damn hot.
Yeah.
And May, June, try and just get out as much as I can.
Yeah.
And then maybe in July, start getting the bow out again.
Yeah.
And by that point, it'll be in our heads again.
Yeah.
It's coming up a few months away at that point. And then we'll be talking about the full draw stuff we got coming up.
Yeah.
And yeah. But yeah, it's fishing season.
It is.
My family, every time I go, they ask me if I bring back trout. I'm like, I'm going to fish for white bass. There's no trout over there. Like, we want trout.
I've been told I need to go out and get some fish as well. So that's a good thing, though.
Yeah.
What's the prep that they want? What do they want? Fried or grilled or what?
Yeah, we pretty much Everybody likes it pan fried.
Well, you
Yeah.
say everybody does. My wife doesn't like anything fried, unfortunately.
Well, this would, like when I say pan fried, it's not breaded.
Okay.
So we'll get like like for trout fillets, I'll get a stainless or cast iron skillet ripping hot
Yep.
with a little bit of butter in it.
Yep.
And I'll do it two different ways. Just one is the straight up fillet.
Yep.
Sometimes I'll do it like a really light dusting of flour.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get it that hot and you drop it in there, you get a really crispy coating
Huh.
on the outside
Okay.
of fish that then the inside's like nice and soft.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cool,
I haven't tried that. You tried
crispy,
that?
soft texture.
Nope.
It doesn't take long to cook either.
I bet not.
No. So the trick is to keep them from falling apart. Because
Yeah.
if you overcook them, they'll start getting flaky.
Okay.
But yeah, that's like kind of the go-to.
I'll give that a try.
Couple veggies. Easy.
Yeah. Quick.
It helps too if you like salt them up real good.
Yep.
And then put them in the fridge for like a day on like a wire rack.
Yeah.
It pulls all that moisture out, helps them
I
get crispy.
see.
And then when you pat them dry,
Mhm.
it helps them get that good kind of char, crispy outside.
That's a pro move right there.
We do it with everything now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is really important to get, if you get that surface dry, you get a better char or a better browning, whatever you
yeah.
want to call it. Otherwise, it just kind of steams on the outside.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll try that. I would write it down, but I'm recording this, so I'll just
Yeah.
listen to
Got
it.
it.
Yeah. I was listening to the Meat Eater podcast. I've been skipping quite a few of them, but I did listen to the one where they covered their cookbook. They were out cooking a bunch of the recipes, and they were talking about doing fish cakes. And that got me to thinking, I'm going to try doing fish cake with white bass. Have you ever tried that?
Not with white bass.
Yeah.
I've done it with all kinds of other stuff. Trout works pretty good.
Yeah. What do you think what's the right property of fish for a fish cake?
I don't think it matters.
You think not?
No, we grew up. We used to eat like canned salmon cakes
Yeah.
and get rid of the bones.
Yeah.
That was the thing I remember from eating canned salmon cakes. Was full of bones.
Really?
Yeah,
There's bones in canned salmon?
yeah,
I didn't know that.
small ones.
Huh. Well, they were saying on the podcast, they were like, well, so they're running this meat through like a food processor.
Okay.
And they were acting like they didn't need to worry about the bones, which I assume they're meaning like pin bones, small stuff.
Yeah, probably so.
And I couldn't tell if they were talking about the cooking is eliminating it or if it's the
It's probably just chopping them
mechanical
all up.
of the
Yeah.
pulsing.
Were they cooking the fish first and then making the cakes?
No,
Okay.
they were mixing the fish in with other ingredients into a food processor and pulsing it, and then forming patties, and then lightly breading them, and then pan frying like you're talking about.
I think I've only ever made fish cakes from cooked fish.
Really?
I cook the fillets and then crumble them up, cool them off, put them in the fridge or whatever,
Uh-huh.
and then mix it with celery and bell pepper, some
I've never
jalapeno,
done that.
cilantro, dill, whatever, and
Yeah.
bread them and then fry them like that.
Huh. Because I
Yeah.
do like salmon patties with raw salmon,
Okay.
and that's what crab cakes are too, I think.
Man, there is a recipe for salmon nuggets
Yeah.
in the first Meat Eater cookbook
Yeah. Huh.
where you bread them and fry them up.
Yeah.
And then there's directions to make this like honey sriracha sauce that
Yeah.
you drizzle over them.
Yeah.
Okay. Like candy.
I made them 4 days in a row.
That's a good
They were
vote.
so good. I gave them. I made them and ate them 4 days in a row.
That's a good vote.
I think for cooking fish, CCA always has some pretty good recipes.
They do.
They're not all winners, but
Yeah.
it's tough to have all winners. I make
Yeah.
all kinds of bad food. So, but yeah, there's some really good ones we picked up from there. There was one that was in one of their cookbooks. It was like a banh mi style taco.
I don't know what that is.
A banh mi sandwich is like a Vietnamese sandwich.
Yeah.
And it's got it's usually it could be like char grilled pork or char grilled chicken or
Okay.
something like that, and it's on a French roll.
Yeah.
And it's got like a garlic. There's some different kinds of sauce, but usually like a garlic mayonnaise
Mhm.
and some jalapeno, some carrot, cilantro,
Mm-hmm.
topped with a fried egg. It's just like one of the best sandwiches ever.
I didn't try that.
But yeah, so this is kind of like inspired by that. So it's like fried fish with some of the same dressing.
Okay.
And wrap it up in tortilla.
You ever cooked any Gaspergoo? I have 2 Gaspergoo in the freezer.
I've never cooked one, but I've caught them before, and I was thinking, I bet you this thing is delicious.
They look really goofy, but
It just looks like a black drum.
it was really weird. I caught and kept 2 good ones in freshwater. It's a freshwater drum for people may be saying, what's a Gaspergoo? And lost another one. They've always been accidental catches.
Yeah.
So how I've like hooked 3, I have no idea. There must have been spawning or something at the time.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I was expecting you to have like a pretty firm answer on that. Well, everybody knows, obviously, they spawn in the creeks after.
No, I don't know if
after
they do or
spring
not.
bass.
I've only caught them on open water, so
Yeah.
like I know I've caught them while trolling for white bass.
Mm-hmm.
They may just be in the same place as white bass.
Maybe. Maybe. It was a rough year for white bass fishing.
My buddy said the same thing about crappie.
Yeah.
He said his favorite lake, all of the crappie guys went to catfish this year.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's up with that.
I don't know. It's the second year in a row, too, of just not awesome fishing for both crappie and white bass. Just in the lake that I fish. I'm sure, other lakes are probably fine. But
You think that was a temperature issue?
I think that this is what me and the guys that fish there think, is that we had these floods early and that it flushed a lot of water up there, and the bass ran early. But it is water temperature driven. It's supposed to be like, I don't know. I hear this from Carrie Beeson all the time. It's like 57, 58 degrees, something like that. And then you look at other places, it's like, well, it's actually 55 to 60 degree water. Somewhere in that range is where they spawn. So you've already missed the good old days of white bass fishing, because it was really good before last year.
Well, I didn't have any interest in the first place, so
We tried multiple times to get Joel to go out white bass fishing, at which time he looks at me like, if I could go to the coast and saltwater fish, why would I do that?
yeah, I'm a saltwater addict.
Well,
Yeah.
but when it's windy, you can go down in those creeks and fish, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. It's ultralight gear.
And Joel misses out on all kinds of good stuff.
He does squirrel hunting.
There's no squirrels,
Yeah,
no white bass.
it's just kind of little white trashy stuff like that you're not doing. You know,
What do you like, Joel?
I like saltwater fishing. I like deer hunting, pigs, elk, ducks. I just haven't had an opportunity to go hunt squirrels.
I wouldn't say you've had an opportunity.
I haven't taken an opportunity to go. hunt
Season
squirrels.
opens on Tuesday, so clear your calendar and me go.
I still need a turkey hunting trip though. I may be.
Yeah, I
going
was
to do
just
that.
about to ask, is anybody going to chase a turkey?
I'm thinking about it.
I've never had any sort of success seeing or finding turkeys,
Yeah.
and I think it's probably for the better. Like, I don't need another thing to go run around and do. This is kind of one of those things where, like, things align right in the universe to keep me
Yeah.
out of trouble.
But you didn't answer your question. Are you gonna arrange a turkey hunt
My one and only opportunity would have been this weekend.
this weekend?
My buddy who has some property with a pretty abundant population of Easterns
Yeah.
invited me to go with him, and I couldn't go because I was coming here to send hundreds of dollars worth of arrows into the rocks.
Now, I've seen you do some pictures of your turkey hunting. Is that the place where you go just sit in the box blind, or will you get out and actually call and kind of try to?
I did a little bit of both.
Okay.
He, the guy whose family's property it is, swore up and down on the one turkey trip I've been on that you could just sit in the blind. They're dumb enough that they're going to walk right by because that's what they always see. Mm-hmm. And I didn't see anything when I was sitting in the blind.
Yeah.
I saw tracks. I heard turkeys.
30% of the time, that works 100% of the time.
Yeah.
I saw tracks. I heard turkeys. I chased after a turkey. Mm-hmm. I thought I called one in. Turns out it was a hen. And as soon as it realized that I was there, I saw the ass end just running away.
Probably heard this, but
And then I spent a lot of time listening to Glenn just screaming on a turkey call, just clucking. And I mean,
this is duck hunting Glenn.
Yes.
Trigger happy duck
Yeah.
hunting Glenn.
Glenn actually saw a big tom right up close and was so shocked by how bright red its face was 15 yards from him that he didn't even pull his gun up, and the thing just stared at him for a few seconds and then turned around and it vanished into the woods. Which is hard to believe with Glenn because he's
Yeah.
the
Glenn's-
man likes to fire his
He
gun.
is a shooter.
I mean, is the part of the story he did fire as it was running away?
He
'Cause
did
that's,
not fire. He
That's a
never
Glenn
fired.
story.
It is.
Right?
It is.
It's on its way out. It's 100 yards.
Yeah.
Glenn's just ripping them.
Still within range.
Yeah.
And so when I hear people talk about how it's similar to elk hunting,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like,
In the right situation, I can see the parallels because you're hearing them, you're trying to get in position, and then you're calling like the female to pull in the male when it works right.
yeah. No, when I hear people describe the experience of calling them in and having them come and
Yep.
they're strutting and drumming and doing the whole thing, I can see the allure of that. But I've called a 7x7 bull elk in
Yeah.
to 8 yards,
Yeah.
and turkeys are not going to do that for me.
No, we don't all live in the Rocky Mountains, so
No.
not yet anyway.
Yeah, I think there's people in Bozeman that would argue differently.
What are you cooking next, Judson?
I don't know.
No?
I haven't cooked anything in a while.
Yeah.
I've been working so much and traveling for work. And,
Do you plan ahead or you just go home and go, hey, let me try this?
It depends.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta really go with the KISS rule. So I like real simple stuff because
But you got to thaw it out, though, so you got to think about some stuff,
Yeah.
right?
there's a pork loin that's been sitting in the fridge for a week in a vac bag. And
All
it's
right. You're wet aging it.
like, yeah. Yeah. Wait until we get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, with kids, you're kind of beholden to what's going on.
Oh, I know.
And this is, we're end of April right now.
Yep.
So the next month, I guess it's May and then December are the two most ridiculous months with kids because you've got all of the end of school year stuff
Yeah,
and all the
cram it all
holiday
in.
stuff, and all the activities are wrapping up for the year or for the the first half of the year when
Yep.
you're talking about fall activities, and like that's why that pork loin's in the fridge because we were supposed to cook that on Monday, and then you end up with all these things and you're never home and
Yeah.
just can't get to it. So yeah, I couldn't tell you what I'm cooking next. Yeah.
I think I'm going to cook fish cakes next.
All right, do it.
I'm going to, I don't know why, but I guess it's because I don't think it lasts as well. If I got fish in the freezer, I have urgency, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna say. One of the things that I have made fish cakes with is snapper collars
Okay.
because when we go on these snapper trips, nobody wants them.
Nobody
So I
wants
end
the
up-
collars?
Yeah,
Yeah, I get
so
that.
I end up with all of them,
Yeah.
and you got to cook them because they don't freeze well.
Is that right?
Well, they've got a lot of bones,
Oh.
and you can't vacuum seal them because they'll puncture bags. And so you could freeze them for a week or two.
Yep.
But yeah, I cook them all up, eat what we can fresh, and then I pick them like crab, and then you can freeze that.
I do vacuum seal like redfish throats though, but I got to I'll put like a paper towel or something over the sharp edges.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never had great luck. I feel like they go funkier faster than fillets too.
Are you using bags from Wish.com?
It's, Amazon.
If you would use legitimate vacuum seal bags, you might not have the trouble.
They are totally totes legit. Totes.
Anything on your menu you're cooking, Joel?
I have
'Cause
been.
You got to start clearing inventory.
I do. I'm eating elk as fast as I can.
Yeah.
Most all of the elk that I had from the first two, or the last two, I should say, is gone now. So just burning through cutlets,
Yep.
steaks, ground, a couple times, 2-3 times a week. But I still have Judson's bear meat
Me too.
in my freezer that I'm contemplating what I'm going to do
I know.
with.
I'm trying to figure it out. It needs to be something that I'm like, oh, that's definitely 160 degrees.
I don't remember what I gave you.
I'm always coming back to like some sort of pot roast recipe.
Yeah.
I have become very prone to the Mississippi pot roast.
I was about to say, how do you
recipe.
feel about the Mississippi pot roast?
I love it.
You
It's
don't
all
think it's
right.
overused?
It's okay. I liked it, but I have a hard time with the vinegar
Me too.
in the final product.
It's a little too strong for me.
Yeah.
But my wife loves it. She thinks it's great.
Maybe I'm doing it wrong because I'm not getting that.
I don't remember what I gave you guys. Was it hams or loins?
I think you gave me a loin and some ground, I think.
No, I haven't. I didn't grind it.
Okay. I think you gave me.
I think it was both.
Okay.
Must be loin and ham.
Okay.
Yeah.
The roasts make such great tacos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just slow cooked?
Slow cooked, and then like cube it.
What do
and
you
slow
put?
cook it?
Do you put anything on it?
Like on a taco?
No. Like on the roast.
Oh.
When you cook it, it's just not meat and water.
Salt and pepper for sure.
Okay.
But
Anything wilder than that?
no, like if I'm making tacos out of a roast,
Yeah.
I will put stuff in the braise fluid. So
Okay.
I'll put 6 cloves of garlic and an onion that's chopped up, and
Yeah.
a bunch of dried chilies.
Okay. Now you're talking my language.
And then I'll pull all that stuff out. I'll pull the meat out, and then I'll strain all the solid stuff that's left over.
Yep.
Toss that in a blender with
Right.
some of the juice,
That's a good idea.
and then blend it all up. And then
Yeah.
you got like salsa to put on top.
Yep.
That's why I put all the chilies in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I made tacos out of my shanks for my deer. And I did the dried chilies and made the sauce. First time I did it, I didn't strain it. And I put in, I think, too many chili Aura bowls, those really spicy
Yeah,
ones.
the little ones.
It was hot. This
Yeah.
time around, I scaled back too much and I strained it, and it didn't taste like anything. I had to put a lot of taco sauce on it to really get kind of a zing. I have not figured that out.
I've got some taco sauce for you.
Yeah?
This is the stuff that I was recently informed of. It comes in a bag from the Valley. It's like the real thing.
Is that right?
It's the real taqueria
All right.
salsa.
You've always got a hot tip for me.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Shoot. It's stuff in the bag.
Okay. You'll have to send me.
Yeah.
This sounds like something I'm going to have to do a clandestine drop, somewhere to a seedy hotel to pick
No,
up
they
a
got
bag.
it. They got it at the Hebe.
All right.
Yeah, you just go online, you put it in your cart, and they bring
Yeah.
it out to your car for you. It's great. It's just it's a classic taqueria green sauce.
Okay.
Which is like
That sounds authentic the way you put it there.
taqueria.
Taqueria.
It's basically just jalapenos that you simmer,
Yeah.
and then you blend it with oil,
Yeah.
salt, garlic. So it's just jalapeno.
Jalapeno. I had to buy from Amazon chipotles, chopped chipotles, because
Yeah?
they don't sell them at my HEB anymore. I mean, they have them in the can, and they're like
Yeah.
whole in adobo,
Yeah.
but there's a jar you can get that's already chopped.
What'd you buy those fancy knives for then?
Well, yeah, but then I get the adobo everywhere. So if you buy them in the jar, you can just kind of spoon out what you need. And I put it
Yeah.
in chili, put it in other stuff like that.
You can also get Chipotle chili powder.
Yeah.
That stuff a little bit goes a long way.
I found
A
that out
long
a
way.
hard way. I bought a packet of Chipotle taco seasoning,
Yeah.
and I mixed it in to some ground venison and made a tater tot casserole, and it was awful.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so awful.
Last time I used our Chipotle chili powder, I think I was supposed to be making like crappy chili for Frito pies
Yeah,
for the kids.
yeah.
And I like heavy hand on that and the New Mexico chili powder.
Yeah.
And it was ripping hot. And
Oh my
you know
God.
when I'm cooking because
Yeah.
the kids are getting that gallon of milk out over and over and over.
It's like an episode of Hot Ones.
I like it, but it's so hot.
Dude, have you seen at HEB they've got green hatch chilies in a great big glass jar?
No, I haven't seen that one.
They have it's called 505 or 501.
505 is the state
Yeah.
zip code.
They have
or
50
area code.
505 New Mexico green hatch chilies, and they're roasted and kind of chopped.
Yeah.
And so I made a chili. I made a chili verde roast or stew. That's what
Yeah.
it was. And I think it called for like 4 ounces, and I put in 8. And oh my God, it's hot. It was
Always
really
need more green chilies.
Oh, it was. And then I put some of it in my cowboy goulash, and it was so hot my wife wouldn't eat it.
Yeah.
But it was good.
That's the thing that like seems has gone out of popularity.
What's that?
From like 5 or 10 years ago. The green chilies.
I love it.
I like them, but last year I was out of all of them. And
Yeah.
so when August came, they always used to do it at all the grocery stores and
Yeah.
roast them all.
Yeah.
And when I was like, hey, I need to go find some, there was only the one big one down on Westheimer. The
Really?
Central Market was the only one that was doing it.
Were you freezing them or something?
Yeah, I freeze them.
Okay.
Yeah. I've tried it different ways.
Yeah.
I don't know there's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
It's kind of a pain in the ass to chop them all yourself and then freeze them.
I bet.
It's a lot of work, but it's handy because you just like make little ice cubes, and when they thaw, they're ready to roll.
Huh.
But I freeze them whole now.
Okay.
They work out okay.
Huh.
Yeah, you thaw 7 or 8 of them, and then
I feel like I've just now awoken to this great ingredient that I didn't really fully understand before.
yeah,
Yeah. This is my first year cooking with them.
dude, I love green chili pork.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if you drive through New Mexico with Joel, you have to stop at a Sonic
for a cheeseburger.
because they have green chili.
Yeah.
Are the cheeseburgers?
Yeah,
McDonald's has green chili cheeseburgers in New Mexico.
I didn't
that's
know that.
that's the first one that I had, and it's like,
That's McDonald's.
is it actually a cheeseburger or
Right.
not? But it has green chilies on it.
I think.
And then we stopped at the Sonic, and I found out that they got one at Sonic.
yeah,
It was good.
so
and it was
one
delicious.
one bad cheeseburger for one slightly better cheeseburger.
That's right.
I'm not a Sonic fan.
It's an Oklahoma company.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're headquartered out of Oklahoma. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like when I was a kid, Sonic was just better. I think that's probably a lot of stuff.
I think so.
And the race to the bottom
Yeah.
to make money. But no, in New Mexico, green chilies, the enchiladas
Mm-hmm.
with the red chili sauce and the green chilies on top, the fried egg. Yeah, that's a dish they have figured out.
That sounds good.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we did that one. My daughter asked for that all the time.
Hmm.
And I don't think she fully appreciates that it takes like 3 hours to make the sauce.
Is it really?
Yeah.
And it's got the dried chilies. Is that why it takes so long?
It's got, oh man, I have to go pull the recipe. It's probably still up on my phone actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got a lot of red dried chilies.
Yeah.
And you simmer it for a long time.
I'm still
and you
learning
cook
a
it
lot
in
of that
oil.
stuff. I haven't figured out like the right mix of dried chilies, strained, not strained. How long you boil them or simmer them. Or not.
You really only just steep them.
Yeah.
That's all you're doing is
Well,
trying to get them to where.
I've tried steeping
It
them. I've tried
rehydrates
putting
them.
in boiling water too. And I'm not sure. Maybe I'm losing too much flavor in the water. I don't know.
I usually just dump the water back into whatever I'm cooking too.
Yeah.
Because I want all that.
Yeah.
But you gotta take out the seeds and
Yep.
then the veins because
Yep.
you get the bitter.
Yeah.
But yeah, it only takes a few minutes.
What kind of-
I've messed up where I've like forgotten about them.
Using the guajillo,
I use guajillo and ancho,
Ancho.
and
pasilla.
I use all of them.
Yeah.
I've got there's like a little Tupperware tote. Like you go to Walmart and they have these bins that are like, I don't know, 12 by 8.
Yeah.
I've got one of those that's filled with chilies.
Really?
Yeah. Because we use them for anything we're cooking for a long time. If we're making chili, a lot of
Yeah.
times I use that instead of ground chili powder.
Okay. I'm telling you, he's very authentic on his cooking now. He's got some chops.
It takes time, man.
Yeah.
I can't do that all the time. That's
Yeah.
only when I'm hanging around on the weekend.
Yeah.
Like, go duck hunting, go home, get your nap, wake up. Now you got 5 or 6 hours to cook something for dinner. I don't have,
Naps.
I have to. There's no way I'm getting up at 2
after duck
a.m. and then
hunting,
burning it through
I
to
need a
midnight.
nap.
That's another thing that I'm short on because of how bad this last season was. Is
Oh no,
I don't think I have any left.
duck.
Duck. And I'm the only one in my house that eats it.
Yeah.
So normally, it will take until
Yeah.
near duck season coming around again before I eat my way through it. But
Well, you mentioned, that just made me think about, along with white bass being slow,
Yeah,
I haven't seen a lot of dewberries. And
isn't it? It's early though, isn't it?
this is usually where I'm getting a bunch of them.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I would think it'd be a good year though, because we had some rains.
I don't know. All my normal spots have all been mowed up.
Huh.
So
How do you know that you're eating dewberries and not some like random?
I don't think
weed?
there is anything else like them.
No?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what do you do with them? Because I've seen you and Glover, Thomas Glover, both.
Man,
hosted.
cobbler is good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Jelly's good.
Really? You make a jelly?
Oh yeah. The jelly that my family likes is
Yeah.
Mustang grapes.
You're like a dude, but you're like a grandma. You know
I
what I
am
mean?
like yeah. I need that reminds me I need measurements. I'm gonna knit you a sweater.
you have such an old soul.
Oh, soul.
You're an abuela.
Yeah. In another life, it
Another
could be.
life. A nurturing grandmother.
Yeah, I know. Mustang grape jelly is what my kids like.
Okay.
So end of June, that's when to find them. June and early July.
Is what?
Mustang grapes.
What are Mustang grapes?
Just a wild grape.
Really?
They grow, I don't know, like maybe I-45 west
Huh.
is Mustang grapes, and muscadines are more I-45 east, I guess.
I'm just afraid that, you'll be like, you ever hear about Chris? Yeah, what happened to him? He ate some kind of something he thought were grapes.
No, like most of the stuff.
And they
like
actually were
straightforward.
like the Black Death is what they were.
I don't know of any like something that'll kill you.
I mean,
that's
this is
kinda
why
like
I don't
grapes.
eat mushrooms either. Is like when we were out with Danielle Pruitt and she was showing us like
Yeah,
what
she
were
likes the
chanterelles.
chanterelles. Yeah.
And I was finding them, but then I pick up something. I'll be like, "Is this one?" And she goes, "Oh no, don't eat that." I'm like, "Well, how do I know?"
Taste it.
Oh my god,
Looks pretty close to the other one that
it
was
looked
delicious.
just like it. So yeah,
No, mushrooms are trickier. I don't do mushrooms,
I know.
but no, berries are pretty easy.
Yeah,
The only one I can think of that you might get mixed up is I think it's the beauty berry.
yeah,
You'll see them everywhere in the fall when you're out running around the woods chasing deer.
yeah.
They're kind of like a purple cluster,
I've seen those.
and they kind of look a little bit like pokeweed or something like that.
Yeah.
But they're not close enough to where if you're paying attention, you should be able to get them different.
Okay.
But
See, my luck is I would make like
pokeweed jelly.
pokeweed jelly.
It may not matter because apparently a lot of people their stomachs don't agree with beauty berries either.
Is that right?
So that's the reason why I haven't.
Oh,
gone
that would
and
be
wrangled
awful
up.
to go all the trouble to make jelly and then give you the shits.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I mean, like when we were kids, we had the Bay House down in Port O'Connor,
Mm-hmm.
and the lot across the street was a completely overgrown, just briar patch, and we'd take the milk jugs and cut them open and go fill them up with blackberries and dewberries.
yeah.
So I've got all these milk jugs in my garage. I drag the kids out. They get so bored, covered in fire ants, while I'm out picking dewberries. And like, I'll have a full gallon of dewberries, and they're still sitting there, like 7 or 8 of them, because they're fighting. And
If we have another depression, he's the guy to know. Apparently,
Yeah,
Be able to live off the land.
well, it's hard to make. You still need like 6 pounds of sugar to make jelly. So
I was envisioning you like stomping these in a barrel with your feet and just making them right from there.
no, I'm a high tech redneck. I've got all kinds of electronic devices, food mills, and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried doing it by hand with
Yeah.
like with a wire strainer and
Yep.
a colander and getting all the seeds, and it's so much work.
Speaking of making stuff, you were going to make some summer sausage.
It's on the agenda.
It's still on the
yeah,
plan.
there's still 12 pounds of chunked up bear meat that's waiting. I never got an opportunity when it was cold, and I'm wondering if I can even pull it off right now.
Why not?
Well, because it ferments too, and it's so hot now.
Well, so
I could probably kick it in the fridge.
yeah, I was going to say I put it in the fridge. So
Yeah,
I think
dial that thing up to like 50 or something like that.
I think first you mix it with the ferment like in a bowl or
Yeah.
something, right?
I've got my casings. I have the fermento. I have everything ready to go. I still even have the fat in the freezer right now.
So you mix it up, you ferment it, then you push it into the casings, and then you smoke it. I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So what is it that keeps me from getting trichinosis?
Smoking.
The smoking?
Yeah.
So you got to smoke above 160?
Yeah.
You
The
know-
recipes I've seen say smoke to 165.
Okay.
But I've like reading on all this stuff with
Yeah.
the trick. There's a lot of maybe non-scientific stuff out there
Yeah.
that, and even some scientific stuff that's not like you couldn't take it to the bank. But there's some thoughts that when you dry it, you're taking the moisture down so low
Yeah.
that it's going to keep those parasites from surviving.
Uh-huh.
And then same with some of the curing techniques.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm not going to chance it.
No, I'm not either.
Yeah. I'm just going to smoke it to 160 and call it good.
Yeah. And if you get to that temperature and hold, I mean, because 160 is supposed to be like instant kill.
Yeah. I think it's like 143 is
Yeah, you can
what
do
they published for
less
pork a long time
at
ago.
a longer time, right?
No, I think like 143 is like instant.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have the table on my phone just in case.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
well,
lower than you
I'll
think.
be happy to try it like 3 months after you try some.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. It might be gone.
It's not an experience I want
Like
to.
cram down 15 pounds of summer sausage.
No, because I'm curious because I was thinking about doing summer sausage like out of venison. So, but this, I mean, obviously it is. It's frozen meat. You've thawed it, cube it, and then you're
Yeah,
gonna.
I think it's already trim, yeah.
So what I mean is, I've always felt like sausage or something like that. You're gonna have to do. It's best to do it when it's before it's ever frozen, so you're not freezing, refreezing.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't worry about it.
I think it's more practical not to worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no way yeah. Like, if I'm spending a good long afternoon or
Yeah.
an afternoon and the next morning
Yeah,
deboning and all that, I'm not going immediately into
it's hard to do.
seasoning, grinding.
And you made some sausage a while back that you and I were sharing back and forth, and I was trying to convince you to put in a bunch of fat, and you're like, I just can't do it. Was that, what was that? Was it chorizo?
I did chorizo.
Did it turn out?
It was great.
Yeah.
I did Hank Shaw's,
Yeah, that's it.
and it was fantastic.
I was telling you I put like 40% fat, and you're like, dude, that's too much.
I think I did 20 or 25.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah. I didn't feel like it was not fatty enough. The one thing I did screwed up on, but we liked it anyway, is I think it wasn't clear, but I think he uses fresh Mexican oregano
I think he does.
and I use dry.
That's
And
okay.
then what they say is when you use dry,
Oh, a different amount.
it's like 3 times as potent.
yeah. And
like-
so it was
so-
very strong.
Super strong oregano.
Yeah.
But I like oregano, so
Yeah, I did too.
yeah, the family loved that. I got excited because my wife said week before, we were having chorizo tacos for dinner.
Yeah.
I was like, "You found some chorizo?" She said, "No, I got some from the store." I was like, like we're about to throw hands. So no, it's that's good stuff. We'll do that one again.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was worth the trouble to go case it.
It was a lot.
It's a lot to case because we case it and we let it put
And
it in
you
the
let it
freezer,
dry.
whatever, and then as soon as we're cooking it, slice that casing open and dump
Yeah.
it into a skillet. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's worth all that.
I agree.
It's a prettier presentation for sure.
It is. It's nice. It gives you optionality, right? You can throw that into a pot of water and blanch it, and use
I
it like
wouldn't do that with chorizo.
No?
Nah,
Why not?
God, it's so good with eggs.
I get that.
Like yeah,
Yeah, that's
eggs,
how I like them.
mixed with eggs and on a tortilla with some beans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I need to make some more sausage.
all right, sausage party. Let's do it.
He's been waiting all day to say that, I think.
I still got a whole deer that I shot in February that I need to, right at the end of the season, that I need to grind up.
Hopefully, you've been keeping it on ice.
It is frozen.
It's in his back of his truck.
Yeah,
Cubed and frozen.
I want to do more cured stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Like, some salamis or something like that.
Yeah.
And some,
Experiment on that.
Yeah.
It scares me a little bit, though, because it takes so little of the cure. I'm afraid.
it's wild.
Because I'm a little sloppy, and I'm afraid I'll be like, oh, shit, it threw too much in. Next thing I know, it's like, 10 years from now, it's like, You have cancer. Well, why is that? Maybe from cure. I don't know.
Just use a scale.
See, he makes it sound like it's easy. What I'm telling you is I spill stuff.
Yeah, but like if you use a scale,
Into the pot.
well, don't do that. They say don't do that.
I agree. I know, but
No, like with the cure though, I mean,
it's slightly dangerous, is what I feel like.
Don't do that.
yeah. Why would you do that?
It's like, Joel, don't aim off the target. You
Yeah.
know, you just put
Yeah.
the pin on the 10 ring and let go.
And let go.
Yeah.
So simple.
Yeah.
But I agree. I want to do some more sausages, more cured stuff. I'd like to do a ham.
I've done a city ham before.
What is a country ham?
Country ham is where you just pack it in salt. It's dry cured.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that was like prosciutto or something like that.
I don't know. I
either.
don't know exactly what prosciutto is.
Prosciutto is like, I thought it's just like a dried ham. But I don't know how they dry it out.
But it's like an Italian.
It is. It's fancy Italian.
Yeah. No, I don't. I've never looked at prosciutto and trying to do that. But
Yeah.
as I understand it, a country ham is like an old school, pack it in salt,
No cure?
keep packing it in salt, keep packing it in salt.
Okay.
And that's how you do it. And then a city ham is what you get at the grocery store. And it's a wet cure with salt and,
An Instacure?
yeah, Prague powder.
Because it's got the pink, yeah.
Yeah, the pink salt.
Instacure or pink salt is Prague powder, right?
I don't remember.
I don't either. Because
There's two kinds
There
of
is.
cure. I feel
Insecure
like maybe
1 and 2.
Insecure. Yeah.
yeah. And I don't remember which is which.
Yeah.
I have a book on this, but I don't remember.
Yeah. My ham experiment was okay. It was like the first time you try stuff, it's gonna get messed up.
Yeah.
So it was a wild pig. I checked a bunch of different things on how long to cure it for, and I think we did like 12 days.
Yeah.
And I guess it didn't cure long enough. And so it was weird because I smoked it, and like the first 2 inches was ham, and the inner 2 inches was pork butt.
I know you know this, but Joel, do you know the Instacure is what makes it pink?
I did not know that.
So like a ham, that pink color, that's because of the cure.
Hmm.
So anything you put cure in, it turns all that meat pink.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, yeah, you'd be slicing it off there and like slice a ham,
Yeah.
slice a ham, slice a ham. And you'd take another slice and then all of a sudden it's just white like a pork chop.
Yeah.
And it would still tasted great, but it wasn't ham.
Yeah.
So that was what I learned is like, whatever it says to cure it, just keep going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went to the restaurant supply, I bought like the 3-gallon Cambro container and did all of it. And my wife got so mad because every time she opened up the fridge, like the left half of the fridge is just a ham sitting in cure and water.
I had
There's
that
no
problem.
room for groceries.
That's why we have to have a second fridge.
I
you
get in
know?
trouble all the time for stuff
Yeah.
like that.
You and me both. Yeah, I just want to be able to do it better. But, I get so few at-bats at this, right?
Yeah. For a while, I was really good at taking notes
Yeah.
and like comparing it to the years before.
Yeah.
And I lost my notebook.
Oh.
So
And it was all over after that.
and I just said YOLO.
Yeah, that's one of my downfalls is not writing stuff down because I'm getting where like I don't follow recipes exactly anymore. Now I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna vary this and that, and then you get something you're like, that was really good. What did you do? Don't remember.
Yeah, that happens to me too.
Exactly.
Like I don't even know what I put in that. Like stuff.
Yeah. He didn't even use recipes sometimes, I think. Right?
I use them for like references for
Or
things.
guidelines.
If there's something I just have no idea,
Yeah.
like I mentioned the New Mexico red chili sauce.
Yeah.
I had to use recipe for that
Yeah,
because I don't.
you know
That's
where
not something I.
Got to have some sort of a roadmap.
Yeah,
Yeah. I get that.
but no, I mean that's like roadmap's a good way of putting it. There, you can take the road that says you're going to go from Houston to Dallas on I-45,
Yeah.
or you can say, yeah, I need to go north. I know
Take-
roughly where I'm going.
gonna
Let's
take a
just
back
hit the
road.
road and let's see what happens.
See where the road takes you.
Yeah.
I have a notebook. If left to my own devices, I will not use a recipe. I will just
Really?
fall back to doing something that I
Really?
know already.
Okay.
And this is probably the reason that I haven't gone squirrel hunting or I haven't gotten into turkey hunting is because it's just I lack experiences in developing an excitement about it. So I have a notebook full of recipes, some of which I've had for 10, 12, 15 years.
Yeah.
And the ones that I've used a bunch of times are like beat up, fallen to pieces.
Yeah.
And I don't even really need to pull them out of the notebook anymore because just repetition has
Yeah.
ingrained it. And then I don't really write any of the changes down because the repetition just sort of builds into
Yeah, I get
the
that.
process of cooking whatever the meal is.
Yep.
But if I didn't have that notebook of recipes that I've pulled out of like RMEF
Yep.
magazines or,
Yep.
conservation magazines or cookbooks or whatever, I would just fall back to making Mississippi pot roast or
Yeah.
steak and eggs.
There's nothing wrong with steak and eggs.
Not at all. That's why I eat it all the time.
I saw you post up on Instagram. You had this like cheeseburgers in the oven. You had like I think it was some sort of rolls, and then you had like a layer of meat.
Yeah, I basically made a giant slider.
Yeah.
I took a pound of ground meat, seasoned it up, and then sort of shaped it into the rectangle of the Hawaiian roll.
Oh, the Hawaiian
like
rolls. Yeah.
buns.
Yep.
Yeah.
And instead of breaking them into individual sliders, I just cooked the thing whole, browned it on both sides, and took just slices of cheese and covered it in cheese, and then put it all in the oven in the buns for a few minutes.
It
to
looked good.
get it all. Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah, we've done that with like ham sandwiches on those. You just like take that thing of Hawaiian rolls, slice it right down the middle. and-
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some sauce that my wife makes that puts on it. It's like, I don't know what it is, mustard and brown sugar and butter and butter and butter and poppy seeds or something, and you stick it all over the top of it.
What was that thing? No, I don't think you guys were. You were standing there. You heard of bitchin' sauce? That's where they were.
I didn't
talking
follow.
about. I didn't either. We were at one of the booths today, and somebody was talking about bitchin' sauce, and I was
I heard
like,
that, but I didn't.
I'm like, I think you're making that up. I don't know.
Yeah. Must be one of those Midwest things.
I guess.
No, I don't know what it was.
I tell you what I did do. You've probably done this. This isn't hard, but I did smash burgers with the venison that I have
Yeah,
with bacon ends in it, so it had good
Okay.
fat in it. And I know it sounds simple, but really mashing them down pretty thin.
Yeah.
They were freaking awesome.
They're pretty good.
They were really good.
Makes such a mess, though.
Oh my god, yeah. So I did it outside.
Do it all inside.
Yeah.
I
I'm
like
trying
to-
to stay married.
Yeah. I like grease all over everything I own. And I like my house to smell like charred meat for 3 days after I cook.
I had stopped cooking fish inside, frying fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was about to get me divorced. I had to stop.
Yeah.
I'm doing the
I
garage
hate
thing.
frying inside. Like, if you go back, I don't know, call it 75 years, people just had like a pot with grease and they fried stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And I wish I had that. But I'd be like 400 pounds if
So-
I had just a pot of grease that fried stuff in all the
My
time.
my dad, he'll have a big Dutch oven, a big
Yeah.
one, and he'll put like, well, it's not grease, it's oil,
Yeah.
peanut oil in there. He'll fry stuff and he'll just put the lid on it, and then the next time he'll get it back out.
Yeah.
They didn't do it indefinitely, but
Yeah, I mean, the oil goes rancid and stuff like that. But
eventually,
yeah, but growing up, we had like it was a Fry Daddy,
yeah,
like a little black pail.
yep.
And dude, everything got fried. Made homemade donuts and tater tots and all kinds of nonsense.
Yeah.
A Fry Daddy. I don't think that oil got changed near as often as it should.
But you can just filter it,
There was a period of time where I had, a large glass of just grease, lard.
Yeah.
Every time we cooked in a cast iron skillet,
Yep.
just put put a coffee filter over the cup and
Really?
pour the grease in it, put it in the refrigerator, and then use it to cook.
Really?
I mean, I do.
I mean, that's basically what my grandparents were doing.
That's probably
you know,
right.
just cooking
Yeah.
with lard all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I usually use.
Then we had to, somebody decided it would be a better profit to make it processed.
Yeah. Yeah, I have, let's see, I have a jar of beef tallow. I have a jar of bacon grease. I have a jar of bear fat. And I have a jar of smoked lard off a pork butt. And I keep all those in my fridge. And depending on what I'm cooking, I'll pull one out. And that's what the oil I use.
That's
Either
interesting.
that or butter.
Yep.
The smoked lard. So
Yeah.
did you just like trim it and render it?
No, I make pork butt, like pulled
Yeah.
pork.
Yeah, yeah.
And I put a pan underneath it while I'm cooking.
Okay.
I fill it with water.
Yeah.
Because when I smoke, I feel like you put a pan of water under it. It helps deflect heat.
Yep.
Because I'm using a.
Also stabilizes temperature if you got drops.
It helps stabilize the temperature and it keeps humidity real high.
Agreed.
But then it catches all that grease that
Yeah,
drips off.
yeah.
And then when you're done, I put it all into a skillet
Yep.
and simmer off all that water to where all that's left is fat. And then
That's a
I
good
put
idea.
it through a paper towel.
I'll tell you.
I started using paper towels because it takes too long on coffee filters.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you just get like, it's like, I mean, it's almost just like bacon fat, but it's not
Yeah.
as salty. It's not.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't have all the cured flavor.
Yep.
Yeah.
You ever use Bacon Up?
Nah, I don't know what that is.
It's like store-bought bacon fat.
Oh, I don't need that. We cook like 6 pounds of bacon a month.
Plus, I don't cook a whole lot of bacon.
Yeah,
I probably cook a package a month.
that's enough, man.
Yeah.
Doesn't take much.
It does not take much.
You get
That's
the
true.
get the thick cut. You do it in the oven too.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing growing up.
It's
It
good.
changed my life.
Or the microwave.
Oh, come on, man.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. But yeah, oven is best.
Then you don't deserve bacon. You deserve a ham sandwich.
Oh, that hurt. That hurt my heart.
No, you can't get crispy.
How do
and-
you get crispy bacon in a microwave?
You can?
You can't get the right balance of like crispy edges with the chewy.
Hey, I didn't
Stripes.
say that it was great. I just said it was
It was
good.
fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I was surrounded by connoisseurs of oven baking bacon.
Well, when you said it was not good but fast, it reminded me. So we talked earlier about if we ever worked in a restaurant
Yeah.
growing up. So
Yeah.
I worked at a Quiznos and like it was pre-cooked bacon back then.
Yeah.
And it's like you just pulled it off the sheet and heated it up. I mean, it's bacon. It wasn't bad.
But
What?
it's bacon.
Just bacon.
Now, you can only have one of two of the three. You can either have good,
Good,
fast,
and cheap.
or cheap.
Yeah.
Can't have them all.
It's like it tastes better when it takes longer. Like barbecue,
But stir fry.
stir fry. Well, it depends on who you ask.
I think stir fry's
If you
good.
ask Sam about how long stir fry takes, you say it takes forever.
That's my new favorite thing right now. Is
Is it?
stir fry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quesadillas.
Mm-hmm.
Quick. I'm just being a shit and just act. But I agree with
I'm
you.
gonna take my ball and go home.
Most things are better or longer.
No, you can have good stuff that's fast.
Yeah.
Like a smash burger.
Yeah.
It's like
It's like
you
3 or
get
4
that
minutes.
skill. Yeah, like white hot
Yeah.
in 3 or 4 minutes. Golly, man.
Well, mine is
The
hot.
meat's like 3 millimeters thick. You don't take that.
I didn't get them quite that thin. I'm probably not doing a true smash burger guy would be like, that's not thin enough.
I always I feel like they're always thicker than I think they are.
Yeah.
And so when I like hog down at triple, I like just want to roll back in bed. That's my
Slump
challenge.
over.
Yeah. Like, oh, that was actually 12 ounces of meat. Oops.
All good things. In moderation sometimes.
Moderation sometimes. I don't think I've heard that version.
Well, I didn't think this was going to turn into a cooking discussion, but it did. So
Yep.
I'm actually really glad it did, because then I can use it in my normal format.
But say if you chop the episode right, you get 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Record new intro.
Yeah. I can make you say anything on editing. You know, I can chop it all up.
Well, that was AI that said that, not me. This is I'm practicing for when I run for office.
There you go. You approve this message. All right. Well, I know it's getting late.
But say I gotta get a nap so we go sling some more arrows.
We got sling arrows in the morning. Any closing thoughts, big ideas, predictions?
What's our goal for tomorrow?
Not to lose an arrow.
I arrived here with 24 arrows ready to fly.
Yep.
I'm down 6.
Me too.
I'm down 5. But like you said, I got some insurance arrows.
I have 18 arrows left. We got 25 targets.
I don't want to be Debbie Downer, but it is probably not possible that we don't lose any arrows tomorrow.
We said it was a goal. We didn't say it was like a bet, So
Yeah, I don't know. That first target that's over 100, and we're just like, that's gonna be interesting.
There is I was listening to some guys talk. There's a 117 yard giant green Yeti.
On which course?
On the Knockhorn course.
Really?
On the course we're shooting tomorrow. It's 117.
I feel like last year we had that.
I have clearance for 100, so I'm just going to put my pin about a foot over his head.
I feel like last year we were up on the side of that riverbed and we shot at that one that was down in the riverbed. I feel like that was around 117.
That wasn't that far. That was like 107.
Stupid long.
Yeah.
Is it going to be douchey of me just to walk up to 100 yards? I don't know.
I mean,
it kind of depends on where it is in the course.
Yeah, that's true.
If I'm already down 6 arrows,
yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, if you want to leave your manhood back at the tee box, yeah, you can crawl up there.
Crawl up there.
Yeah,
lift my skirt as well.
That's
right
right.
up there. I've been called out.
Yeah, you do have to. If you move up to 100, you do have to shoot with your pants down.
I see. The gauntlet has been thrown down.
Now this is starting to sound more and more like a golf scramble.
We'll take the best shot and we'll consider that. But we'll score it all.
tees.
All right, so we'll wrap it up. Appreciate everybody chipping in a little bit of wild game knowledge this evening and expanding people's understandings of Total Archery Challenge tomorrow. Good luck, Judson. Good luck, Joel. Wish myself good luck not to lose any arrows. And until next time, good night and good luck.